Hi everyone. Please locate this handout that says Classroom Policies. In the next 10 minutes, we're only going to cover the front side of the sheet that has to do with things like our course policies, our procedures, makeup work testing, and so on. At certain points along the way, though, I'll ask you to stop and initial that you understood the information that was covered in the particular section and that you're going to agree to abide by those policies and procedures. I noticed that the last line says a copy of this will be made for you, but I'm just going to give you 2 copies each, and you will turn in one and keep the other for a reference. So let's go. First of all, if you've been absent, first place to look is the lesson plan notebook that's on the teacher's desk. Notice that I also will have it written on the whiteboard, and I always say out loud, anyone here today absent yesterday, so tune in especially if you've been absent as we go through the day's agenda. Check in with me. Sometimes there's supplemental handouts that you'll need to have to add to your packet. Sure, you can ask your friends, but sometimes people don't always have the most correct information. And the number one most important place, of course, is our Moodle Central Clearinghouse. And there should be a lesson plan folder that will have either nice, pretty lesson plans in there or iPhone photos of the whiteboard each day so that you can see what you've missed. Okay. Now, once you know what you need to make up, if it's just a clear-cut, like little worksheet or simple assignment, and you can take a day or two to get that guide done if you were gone a day or two, those are pretty straightforward. In the event of an extended absence, of course, we'll get together and come up with a schedule for you to do your makeup work, and I'll have a form for you to fill out for that. Here's the problem if you wait to do your makeup work. If I'm very efficient and I get the papers graded and turned back very quickly, then as soon as those graded papers are out there, you lose the right to turn in those assignments because the answers are now out there. So make sure you take care of your makeup work immediately, and of course, a legitimate extended absence will make special accommodations for. Now, you only have the right to makeup work if it was an excused or warranted absence, so make sure you've cleared those with the office in advance. Here's a thing, though, that a lot of people don't understand. If you knew in advance that an assignment was due, let's say you were gone on a Wednesday, but on Tuesday, the day you were there, I said on Friday or Thursday, this work will be due. So you were there on Tuesday, you heard that it was due on Thursday or Friday, you were absent Wednesday. When you come back after your absence on Wednesday, Thursday or Friday, whenever I said it was due, that's when you turn in that sheet. So make sure you have your work done and ready to turn in. If you've been extremely ill, of course, there are exceptions to that. But the other thing that I need people to understand is that when we do a lab, sometimes they allow you to get the lab data from a lab partner. Other times they require that you actually make up the lab. And you have to take care of that within 1 week because the chemicals might go bad and not react, and we put the equipment away. Bottom line, by the end of any kind of grading period, the last day for any legitimate makeup work is on the SMART period that you can work on it is due on the SMART period on the Thursday before grades are due. Now here's a picture of the grade book from last year. This is just 1 page and it goes on for several pages. So you can see we do lots and lots of assignments in different categories. Notice that the person right here was excused from an absence, and occasionally I do that. And empty spaces mean that they simply did not do the work. Now let's zero in on a grade book from last year's class, and let's take a look at, say, this person who got an A right here, or this person right above them that got the F. Let's take a look at how that happened, and first of all, when you look at this person, this is the person who had the F. See these empty boxes and all the places I'm pointing to? They stopped doing the work. And when they stopped doing the work, then this is the outcome. This is their summary sheet showing what happened. And if you look at the bottom line down there, you can see they only got 51.7% of the points possible. Notice there's a ton of points in chemistry too. And the reason why things like labs and quizzes and tests are low is because they just didn't do the work. It's very important that you take care of any work that you have ongoing, and especially if you have any makeup work that you might have missed. I'll talk more about grades later, but now let's look at on the positive side. This person right here in the column that says score didn't miss a single assignment. I'll explain what that little line means when we talk about grades, but you get to drop some of your quiz grades at the end of the semester. And so the payoff for this person is what you see here. Well, this was a really smart person, so you could actually have maybe a B grade on tests, but if you ace other categories like homework or labs or movies, then you can still earn an A in this class. You don't have to have an A in every category. But the reason why their grades are so high is, in addition to being a bright person, this person did all of their work. So one of the things that we love to do is go on field trips, and they're a lot of fun and they're really educational. But what you'll find is even if you're gone one day from chemistry, you might come back feeling confused and frustrated. So if you know in advance that you are going to be gone for a field trip or a sporting event, or you're going to be gone in crew for the regatta in May, or you're a senior and you're doing mock senate or any other school activity, you'll know in advance if those are coming. I do not want you to come to me after the fact. Before the fact, check in to see what it is that you need to do so you won't fall behind. One of the things that some kids do is they use those online grades that I just showed you to keep track of their makeup work, and that's just not going to work. By the time you notice that there's a 0 in the grade book, it's going to be too late for you to make up the assignment. Sometimes I'm very quick on grading, entering, and recording the data in eSchool, but sometimes it might be a couple of weeks before that happens. I generally update grades after each major exam. So if you're gone, you immediately have to take care of your makeup work. Absolutely do not use eSchool to keep track of what you're missing. By then the papers will be passed back and it'll be too late. As you saw though, there's tons of assignments that we have entered in the grade book. I have 5 classes with I think about 130 kids, and I'm going to make a mistake somewhere. So if you find that I made an error, like I put in a 1 instead of the 1 0 because I was going so fast, immediately bring that to my attention, and of course I will fix that. Here is the moment at which I'm asking you to initial, please. I do not want you to ever come up to my desk and say, I forgot to turn this in. I'm the kind of teacher that absolutely does not take late work. I'm not talking about excused absence makeup work. I'm talking about work where you said, oh, this was due yesterday and I didn't turn it in. I'm not going to take it. You're going to find that you get to do that maybe once or twice, but if you make that a pattern, your grade will resemble that unfortunate F person's grade from the previous slides. So I simply don't take late work, neither do I do partial credit. So take a moment and sign here that you understand the importance it is to take care of your assignments in a timely manner and to take care of your makeup work. But even though it sounds kind of harsh right now, hang on, you're going to find out that there's lots of other ways that I'll help you to be successful in this class. But that's at the next podcast. Take care.